linked with today's topic.
Yeah.
Being Wellness Wednesday, I feel like some things do happen for a reason, So, we've got the incredible doctors. Hey, but was smart, man. Come on now, where were you doing? What were you doing? Where were you when people were calling them textbooks? I'm gonna tell you that. Because here is a doctor, man. We've got a doctor in the building here at VMC Planet Radio. Beyond Momoro, and he's not just a doctor, he's not just a guest, but he is a part of the family now. So, Mr. Come on, man. Please introduce yourself. What is your name? What is your occupation? Who are you in general? Let's do it.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here. Of course, I'm delighted to be joining your show.
Hey.
And I'm impressed. I must say that this is good, and I'm excited about the journey I'm starting with the family.
Yeah.
So I'm Nati. I'm coming from a place called Malamulele in the Bombo. So I grew up there, young child, ambitious. I wanted to be a pilot, by the way, I think everyone wanted to be a pilot.
Everyone wanted to be a pilot, man.
I wanted to be a pilot. Never thought I would be a doctor. Yeah, but I decided to do that after high school, and it's been a journey. But I think all in all, everything I do ties out around caring for people and just being people orientated.
Yeah.
So everything that I do seems to be in line with that. Just a passion for people, to help people, and to bring up someone with me as I climb up my own journey in life.
Amazing. That's amazing, man. That is amazing. So listen, topic of today, man, it is crazy, right? And thank you very much for being here, because we do need someone who's
an expert, basically.
An expert on this one, because crazy. Please remind them what the topic is.
So the topic is chronic. It's more of like an international awareness, right?
Yeah.
So the topic it's called chronic immunological and neurological diseases.
Yeah.
Right, so maybe he has an insight on it. I don't say maybe
he does, man. I am sure he does.
Yeah, most definitely. But you can give us an explanation as well back here.
Something, man. I feel like according to research, right, it is pronounced as CIND in a short, which is an uncompensated, condition that is actually affecting the immune and the nervous system as well, leading to chronic symptoms. Different symptoms as well. Yeah, man, we've got a different symptoms to this kind of a thing. So please give them the symptoms of this
Sind.
Just call it Sind.
Yeah, Sind.
Yeah. Please
so
give them the symptoms.
Symptom that we have. But before we get more the symptoms, right? I'd like to ask Dr. Nati. I'm right, right? Yeah, Dr. Nati.
Yeah.
Since you said you're a doctor and you love helping people, right? So there are and again, psychologists, there are physicians, so what do you practice when
So I'm actually a physician. I practice what we call family medicine. Okay. So basically it's a specialist GP in a way. So I'm a generalist. I do everything, but from a specialist point of view. So I pretty much take care of the person from birth to death. Kids, women who are pregnant, elderly people, anyone really. So, but we practice mainly in hospitals and in what we call community healthcare centers. So not just the GP, but in an environment where you have all of those people you're talking about. And we are kind of, captaining this ship and just giving direction and assistance to those systems and healthcare points. So looking at pregnant women, delivering, planning, antenatal care, and then you're looking at children, their vaccinations. So all of that. It's a spectrum. So we look at holistic care. We are concerned about the person and not their disease. You know, you can have flu today, but you won't always have flu.
Yeah.
But you need someone who looks after you, not your disease. So a surgeon will cut your breast out and they say, bye, go. So there's someone who looks after you holistically. So you'll always have us, me, all the time.
So I've heard that you are a pastor as well.
Yes.
So if got like a pregnant, right?
No, actually, funny enough, I never really do that. I never suggest to patients that their condition needs spiritual intervention. Or I think it's important to keep the balance. When patients come to me, they are looking for a medical expert and nothing more. At church also, I don't give medical advice. I do that work that is separate completely.
Amazing.
Okay, so would you allow your child? You have a child, right?
Yeah.
Would you allow your child to follow your career, or if ever they choose, I don't want to be a doctor, I hate blood, you know, and they choose, right now I want to be a singer. How would you feel about that?
I'll be very happy if they don't do medicine.
Ah.
I'll be quite happy if they don't do medicine. Medicine, I think it requires a lot, and particularly in the climate where we are in. Let me say an economic decline. It's no longer as lucrative from a financial point of view. So it really needs people who are passionate. It's no longer about making money. It's about people who will be committed to it. So, and it's a really difficult work. You deal with people at their lowest, the most vulnerable. So you have to be passionate about that and committed to the person. So I think many people who were choosing it previously for the financial security that comes with being a doctor, they might find out, particularly in the public sector, that it's no longer as rewarding. So unless they are really passionate about serving humanity, then they can do it. But also, I just think that it's not necessarily the only way to serve people. What you guys are doing is quite important. Without information, without the empowering conversations that we are having here, people are not able to navigate their lives any better. So medicine is the last resort of things. I think people should do more preventative things, and there are other ways to empower people to do that than give them the medicine when they are now sick.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Because
Yo.
hey.
Now that's what I call informative. Yeah. We actually do know how to, you know, to speak something out. So in details, not just speaking it. That's amazing,
I'm
man.
a conversationalist. I think the passion to speak, to preach, to do even medicine came from my love for talking. So I find myself talking more than treating patients. So I think I need to get out of that space.
Because we're a pastor, you know.
That's amazing. And
sometimes forget you know.
It actually links.
Yeah, it actually links.
Pastor and being a doctor, you know, you have to have that humanity, you know, that empathy.
Yeah, definitely.
So what an amazing thing, man. What an amazing journey. But listen to this.
Sure.
You stated on our Instagram, you know, that your show will be about business.
Sure.
So please, this guy is so smart, man. Come on, why are you kidding me? Well, you're a doctor, you're a pastor,
He's a
and then you
husband,
know
he's
about business as well. Can you please give us something here about business, you know?
Sure. I am involved in a number of businesses, mostly from a consulting point of view. So management consulting and advisory. But I've always thought of myself as an entrepreneur, someone who wants to innovate. So I found myself in that space because I wanted to do something more challenging. Medicine is repetitive, you know. Flu is flu. At some point it gets boring. So I wanted to do something a little bit more challenging. So I found myself in business. But my role in business is that of management. I don't like starting stuff. I like finding systems that keep businesses sustainable. And so that's the love of business. But I think the VMC boardroom is more around developing our people to begin to think from a lateral point of view, not just simply making money, but making money and knowing how to keep it, knowing where to invest it, and developing sustainable systems that help us. As a hustler, you print a shirt and you start a label, a clothing label, and it's just one type of shirt. How do you scale that to the next phase? How do you move from just being a corner binder, a corner hustler, to having a shop? So it's all about those conversations and reflections of the African child as we move forward and create an environment that enables business and entrepreneurship to flourish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
we
that
know
is
for
crazy.
A business,
That's
it's
amazing.
It's all
man.
about money, right? So
Sure.
I'm most definitely tuning in.
Definitely.
Budget because hey, some of us, you know. Hey, you know.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna go back a little bit to the topic, right?
Sure.
Whereby it's chronic immunological and neurological disease. So I don't know if our doctor here. Maybe I got a both side, you know?
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Something maybe that he knows. Maybe he knows because we know immune right?
Yeah.
I read the neurological, is it?
Yeah, something to do with your
With your
With
mind,
your-
your brain.
nerves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are diseases that I think they are not as common.
Yeah.
Particularly when you look at Africa, and what you're talking about here is very important, but many people might not recognize these symptoms as diseases because from time to time you feel tired, but you might not necessarily think it as a disease. So there's chronic immunological and neurological diseases, a group of diseases that speak to diseases that develop because your body is fighting itself. And basically result in you having chronic symptoms. Chronic means symptoms that last for 3 months going, you know, headaches, tired all the time, general pains that you don't understand where they are coming from. And it all stems from your body just fighting itself. So that's what we call immunological. So, but the basic thing is maybe let me just say this because people experience this. Let's say you sneeze all the time, you pass a flower, right? That's immunological. It's a reaction. It might be, you call it allergy, but that means that your body recognizes a foreign object and it fights it, and then you start to have a runny nose and blah blah blah. So, but the other end of the spectrum, the severe stuff, is what we're talking about today. Is when your body fights itself, and then you develop things like fibromyalgia or what they call trigeminal neuropathies. Those are pains that are just unexplainable. They develop out of nowhere, but it's your body just beating itself up, and no one gives you a diagnosis. It's a diagnosis of exclusion, because we have to say, what are the other common causes for what you are saying? If you are saying I have abdominal pains, so pains in your stomach, cramps every time you eat, you just feel pains out of the blue. What are the other causes of that? And if those things are not there, then we can come back and say, perhaps you have IBS, which is also an immunological disease, right? Basically, it's your body fighting itself, so you have pain that can't be explained by anyone. So those are the things that we are discussing today. Obviously affects life because chronic pain can lead to depression, withdrawal, and then you'll not be functional as an adult. So it's important to talk about it, but these are not things that you would go to a GP and suddenly you have this disease. It will be after years of investigating, bloods being pulled, nothing being picked up, and then they say possibly it's something immunological and neurological that you're suffering from. Sure.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Wait. Can somebody tell me what was I doing when this guy was reading textbooks? Come on, man. This is not the one. Eh?
So basically,
amazing.
Okay, I want to ask. It's just a question that is off topic,
sure,
right?
sure.
So I want to know if you ever because mainly people that maybe cross with HIV, right? And then you get treatment, you be okay, and then go AIDS, right?
Yeah.
So is it similar to your body fighting itself as well?
Yeah. So HIV, the I there is immunology, right? Immune system. But that's a virus. So that's something that comes from the outside that your body is now fighting. But it kind of HIV integrates itself, so it gets into your body, so your body doesn't know what part is your body and what part is the virus.
Wow.
So that's what it does to remain in your body, and your body can never find it out. It's hiding basically in your body. So you fight against yourself, but it's not against yourself. It's because there's a kind of a virus there. So what we talk about when we say AIDS, we're talking about the fourth stage of HIV. Basically, it's when you have now developed resistance against the medication, or you are not using the medication. And then you develop a clinical picture, or you get to a place where you are now just generally too sick to fight off other diseases. So HIV itself, let me not say this on air because people, or let me say it with a disclaimer. People think somehow. HIV itself doesn't kill you. But it opens doors for other things to come and kill you. So you can literally die of diarrhea because your body is now too weak to fight off things that normally would just you just get over it. After 3 days, not taking anything, you just recover. But if your body is now too weak to fight off disease, then opportunistic diseases can come. Even cancers that are opportunistic as well. So that's what defines what AIDS is. It's a state of the body not being able to fight off any disease, and opportunistic things can come in and just wipe you out like that.
That is well stated. Well stated, man. With examples as well. That's how you communicate.
All right. Let me get back to the topic, right? And then you stated the common symptoms, right? So number one include chronic fatigue. Fatigue, which he stated, right? Persistent exhaustion. And as he mentioned, I can't dwell much. I'm not a doctor, but it's there, you know. And me adding, I'm just, you know, he said all the things that I hear. So if you didn't listen, I get to know but now we're just gonna move to avoidance and management, right? So number one, we have pace activities, which avoid over exert. Okay, avoid pace activities basically. I can't see. And the second one is stress management, right? And then include a practice relaxation, meditation, the yoga. And you know, black people, they don't do yoga. So that's
a white thing. That's a white person thing, man.
I'm not gonna do meditation. Why am I meditating? But it's important to not talk and just meditate, and you know, come back to reality. And then number three, we have a healthy diet. So maybe we'll likely regret already sinned, right? Because so just get a balanced nutrition, avoid triggers, right? And then the rest of
avoidance, man. Avoidance. How can you actually avoid things, you know, crazy? Number one, before I get into it, because you already know that avoiding things is most likely to be practical. You know, there are things that you should be doing. So please tell us, Mr. Nati, Dr. Nati.
Yes, Dr. Nati.
Tell us, man, what is important between, you know, physical fitness as well as mentality, like strength.
No, I think that, so though you're speaking to the first two there, so the pace activities is actually just exercise. And what they're saying is avoid exertion. So don't overexert yourself, don't overdo it. So generally what we speak about from a clinical point of view is we want you to move 3 times a week for about 30 minutes. That is like high cardio activity. So running, riding a bike, skipping rope, doing something that is quite fast-paced. And when you do that, you give yourself an opportunity to get rid of oxidants, things that are damaging your body, things that contribute to fatigue and always being tired. So if you just start doing that, that will help with prevention. But I must emphasize that these are not diseases that are are clearly preventable because they just come out of the blue.
Wow.
So, but science says that if you do some of these things, if you exercise and you eat healthy, you will then have a better chance of having a lower risk to developing this. But that's not guaranteed. But generally, of course, exercise is good for the body. So you are speaking about mental health as well, very important. So you need to avoid stressors. You need to avoid things that cause your body to not have the ability to fight off disease. So when you are highly stressed, you are easily to pick up diseases. So if you don't sleep, so sleep deprivation, and you are highly stressed, you just find yourself having flu. If you have seen, if you don't sleep for like 3 days, I'm telling you, you're just gonna have flu. Because your body doesn't have the ability to fight off diseases. So your cells literally not chalapa, and you just get tired. Even the cell is just tired. It looks at a virus passing and it's like, nah, I'm just gonna sit this one out. I've been awake for some time now. So it's important. It's definitely important. Mindset is important. Just being up and focused. That will help your body fight off disease.
Amazing. Amazing. That is well stated. He actually has spoken about each and everything that I'm going to touch in here, right? Avoidant pace activities. Avoid over, doing things. Stop doing things to the next level, man. I know that they say that no pain, no gain. But to know when to stop, Too much of a thing is a bad thing. Might as well kill a flower by giving it too much water. So, there you have it, man. Stress management, practicing, relaxation techniques such as meditation and yoga. Eating healthy, as Dr. Nati said over here. Eating healthy, man. Maintain a balanced diet and avoid triggers as well. So, sleep hygiene. Get enough sleep as well as avoiding a chemical exposure, which actually limits exposure to toxic and chemicals as well. So stay hydrated, drink plenty of water, as well as seeking medical support. Now this one is important. Please tell them, do you know someone or some places that people can actually get help from?
Sure. Let's start with clinics, man. I mean, there's a clinic in every corner now.
Exactly.
And that's free healthcare. I think many people have the impression that going to a private doctor is gonna yield to better healthcare management. It's not always the case. Of course, there are many issues that we encounter in public spaces, long queues, bad attitude at times, and all of that. But in reality, the medication is the same. You're gonna get it for free. You're gonna get full healthcare
big
for free.
time,
So start there, and then of course they will refer you to the next level. If there's a GP that you can go to them. If you afford healthcare, private healthcare, of course use it. But I think I want to advocate for that utilization of primary healthcare facilities, your clinics, your pop-up clinics. When you see someone just testing for HIV, just go there.
Just go it, man.
And get tested. So let's utilize the resources that we have, particularly the youth, and that's it. That's my advice on this one.
Amazing.
I don't use private healthcare.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yoga, continue.
Okay. So listen, man. You are a doctor, a pastor, as well as dwelling into business. What is the importance of doing different things at the same time? What is the importance of being diverse?
Sure.
As a person, as your profession as well, having different skills in a different industries as well and aspects. So what is the most important thing for people to have that?
So it is difficult to do that because it diverts your attention and focus. So before you jump to the next thing, I think it's important to do one thing and do it well. And remain focused. So I wouldn't necessarily advocate for people to get as busy as I am.
Exactly.
Because it has its own disadvantages. I think you must, though, try by all means to do everything you wanted to do when you are still young. So try get everything done by the age of 40. Don't be figuring new things later in life.
Exactly,
So if you have a passion to record music, but you're full-time employed as a teacher, you can juggle. Do both and invest yourself 100% to both. You know, I always say this, I'm not 50% a father, 20% a husband, 30% an employee.
Exactly.
I'm 100% in all of these things. So it's possible. Of course, it will demand more time, more focus, but do everything you can do when you still can do it.
Amazing. How do you actually juggle all of these things? Because you are having, I'm sensing three things right now: pastor, doctor, a businessman, right? And a family man. I just added one now.
Yeah.
How do you actually juggle all of those things, man? Your time management, scheduling. How do you actually prepare yourself for all of this?
I think for me, time management is present.
Exactly.
So
Big time.
if you have 30 minutes I have 30 minutes for argument's sake with my daughter. It's a full 30 minutes with undivided attention. And by doing that, I'm 100% in. So whenever I have a meeting, I'm 100% in it. When I'm at church, I'm 100% in it. It's not that I'm spending 100% of my time at church. It's I'm doing 100% when I have the time to do that particular thing. So if I allocate 2 hours in my day to do business, I'm going to be focused. I'm going to do it right.
Amazing.
Even with 2 hours. Cumulatively, if I spend 2 hours every day on developing a business idea, in 10 years, I would have spent close to 2 years building a company. And that company will be far advanced than someone who thought, I'm going to wait until I retire to start my business. So it's about consistently giving those little bits. And if you do that, I think you can do all things. So if you're a student, you have a girlfriend, and you also have parents.
Exactly.
You can juggle and you're juggling. And
Exactly.
you can give 100% to each of those relationships.
Yeah.
So it's things we've been doing. We're just not aware that we're doing as many things as
Wow.
Okay, I want to ask you a question, right?
Sure.
But right now, we're just going to have a Tatora Malepa, a newsreader. I want you to kindly and humbly and in Jesus' name answer this question, you know?
Yes.
Because I'm going to that route.
We have to touch. We do have to touch each and everything that is going.
Most definitely. And then we're just
Big
going to
time,
go back to business management, the show that you're going to do, right? Yeah. So in the meantime, just going to give it to Tato Ramalepe.
Tato Ramalepe. I'm going to drop this jingle, then the newsreader will tell you what is actually cooking oil in the South African news. And you know what? We're going to be back like we never left. Before, before ending the show, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we just need to have to touch
Small
each
prayer.
and everything.
Small prayer nyana fela tlo re blessa
Exactly.
rutlo gore
Exactly. And I've got a surprise for him. A mind like his cannot go to waste.
Yeah, most
Yeah. FFTQ is coming up. But listen to this, man. I'm just going to drop the jingle. Then Tato Ramarepe will be giving you the news updates. But for now, stay tuned to The Drive Show and VMC Planet Radio.